Dear delegates, as in other countries in Europe, so too in Cyprus, one of the most important problems faced by companies today is the lack of liquidity. And one is being squeezed through the economic crisis, and the SMEs of Europe are being hardest hit. So what we must do now by way of a response is to have an immediate short-term and long-term plans implemented.
The theme of your meeting today, helping SMEs go for growth, features very high indeed in the priorities of the European Commission within the overall Europe 2020 growth and jobs strategy. One should always remember the key role SMEs play in the European economy and have in mind that in theory at least, unemployment within the European Union could be solved if each of our 23 million SMEs were in a position to create one job. I'm not mentioning this to put any additional burden on SMEs, but just to show how vibrant a contribution they have to Europe's growth and prosperity, even though I'm fully aware of the many obstacles they are faced with today in the current difficult times Europe's economy is going through.
51% of Americans and over 50% of Chinese are interested in becoming entrepreneur themselves. They're interested in setting up their own businesses. Look at Europe, however, and you'll see that we're less interested in this. Only 37% of Europeans would actually envisage becoming entrepreneur themselves and setting up their own company. So you'll see that this is not quite as glorious as in other parts of the world. And this has actually gone down since 2009. So most of our citizens in Europe do not think that setting up a business is something that they would be tempted to do. Perhaps we haven't been able to get the message across to young people today, to tell young people that setting up your own business, setting up an SME is actually something which is a positive thing, that you could actually use your personal skills to develop a company. Since 2007, the single market laws that have been developed, which has been an additional burden to, we've seen a reduction in burden by 25% for EU companies. And this is supposed to have led to a 1.5 increase in our business turnover. And simply by making it easier, the auditing rules are easier for the smallest companies in the EU. Annually, we have tremendous savings, up to 3.5 billion euro for the SMEs can be saved through reducing red tape. And I think we've got to continue along this path. Secondly, improving access to financing for the SMEs.
In access to finance, last year we had important developments with the future financial package, COSME, Horizon 2020, but also in the Finance Forum to address the discussions between the European Union, between the SMEs and between the banking institutions. We have also made progress throughout the EU in reducing the time to set up a business. You know, our target is 3 days and 100 euros. Well, we have made progress in Europe. We are not yet there, but there is a significant progress in the reduction of costs, but we still have to make throughout the European Union these 3 days as key objective.